Alright y'all, so I'm back with another video. Now the intro that you just saw was shot with the 24-105 and this 18-135, which is what we're going to be talking about a little bit here today. Now in the camera bag video that I did when I was out in Florida, which was like a video or two ago, I kind of showed this lens a little bit, but I told you guys when I got back to the house that I was going to talk a little bit more about it and kind of show it to you guys. Now I scooped this lens up. It was $180. Alright, I got it used, but it did have, or does have, a small defect that you guys will see here in a hot minute. I'm gonna show you in a minute, but for the most part the defect really didn't have too much of an effect on, you know, the outcome of the quality that I'm getting out of this lens. Now when I went to Florida to my son's World Series, just to recap that real fast, they came in second overall, which was awesome. He got a nice trophy and all of that good stuff, man. And it was such a great experience, man, that we are pumped up about them, you know, going to the World Series next year and taking the whole thing. So anyway, also when we went out there, I did that camera bag video and I only took a handful of things with me. I took the Canon 90D, which is what I'm shooting on, and I took this 18-135, my 24-105, and my 10-18, which is what I'm shooting on right now. So that's all I took. I left every other lens at the house because I tried to go as, you know, I want to say as minimalist as possible. But for the most part, I shot a lot of photos and a lot of video out there with this specific lens. Now, just to give you guys a little rundown on this lens, this is an 18-135. I like this lens, man. It's a really nice lens. Let me unlock it right quick. It does extend like this when you open it up, but for the most part, you know, that's no big deal. It has a lock on it, so if you put it down to 18, you can lock it so it don't move again. It has image stabilization built into the lens, and it has an auto and manual focus right there. If you can see that right there, you see what I'm saying? Thread on this thing is 67 millimeters right here, and for the most part, it's built like a tank. Has a metal bottom to it and everything right there, and yeah, man, this thing is built like a tank. It focuses really fast, and that's something that I really like about it. To be honest with you guys, the only reason why I actually scooped this lens up was because when I got my 90D, I sacrificed getting this lens to put the money towards getting, you know, my Sigma 18-135 to start out with my Canon 90D. And I knew at some point I would try to get the kind of sort of kit lens that should have came with the 90D. I knew I was going to get one. So I pulled the trigger for 100 and what I said 80. I think it was 180, 190 bucks or something like that. And I got this lens, but it does have a little bit of a defect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the defect so you guys can know what I'm talking about. So right here in the front, this lens has a handful of little micro scratches. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me see if I can get this off me right there. But it has some scratches right there on the front. But for the most part, I knew it had the scratches, but I still decided to pull the trigger on it anyway. And for the most part, the quality out of this thing has been great. I'm gonna throw a handful of pictures and videos and stuff up while we're going through this so you guys can see that, man. But for the most part, I took this to my son's World Series games, at least the first two games, and then I ended up leaving my camera back in the condo for the remainder of the time because I felt like they were winning when I didn't have my camera. So every time I had the camera for the first 2 days, they lost both of those games, and then when I put the camera away, they basically won every other game except the finals game where they came in second place. So I left the camera at home. But when I did have the camera, I took a lot of photo and a lot of video with this thing. So as far as the photos, I felt like they came out really good. I'm not a photographer, but I'm going to start to dive a little bit more into photography as well because it is actually fun. As far as sports photography, I did shoot a handful of photos with this in like the sports photography style, high speed continuous, if that makes sense. And you know, this lens did pretty good. It's not a sports lens by any means, but it did pretty good. It held up a little bit. I was able to capture a few shots here and there, but I caught a lot of cool photos, a lot of great video. I kind of got a lot of video because I wanted to make a video for my son so that when he get older he can always go back and look at it. So some of the video that you're seeing, you know, on the screen or whatever the case, is just video that I thought I could throw in this video to show you guys the quality of this lens. I did the time-lapse video that you guys saw. If I'm not mistaken, I think I did that first time-lapse video with this 18-135, and then by the end of this video you should see a nighttime where it kind of went into night time-lapse, and I shot that with this lens as well. But again, for the most part, I like this lens. I will be honest with you guys, I'm a little bummed about the defect because the only time it actually shows its face is when like there's direct sunlight. So if I'm facing the sun with the camera, then you'll see the little scratches and like the little flare on the lens. But if I'm facing away from the sun, then you know it's fine. You know, there's no issue. I've tried every single f-stop and all of that stuff, and you never really see it. It's like you have to put yourself in a position in order to see the defect in the lens. Other than that, you can see from the quality of the photos and the quality of the video that came out of this lens. I mean, it was pretty good. I didn't have a ND filter for this lens, which was fine, because again, this is a 3.5 to 5.6 lens in general. So you know, it didn't really matter too much out there, but you know, I could have used the ND filter with this lens at certain times. Did I use this lens the majority of the time while I was out there? No, I did switch over to my 24-105 because there were times where the little defect was really kind of bothering me in certain situations. Like if you notice, well, you don't notice, but in the beginning of the video, when I shot that little sequence, I think only about 2 of those clips was with this 18-135, and the remainder of those clips was with the 24-105 because the defect was getting in the way because of the way the sun was hitting the balcony that I was standing on. You know what I'm saying? So I had to switch, and I was like, I wanted to shoot the whole thing with the 18-135, but I just couldn't get it done because of the way the sun was shining. So I threw the ND filter on the 24-105, and I think I shot 1 or 2 of those clips with the 24-105. So I did kind of cheat a little bit, you know what I'm saying, with the intro. But as far as everything else, man, I like this lens. Do I wish I would have got it without the defect? Nah, I'm not bummed out about it because again, it still works. And just to show you guys that it still works in general and that it looks great, I'm gonna switch over to it right now just so you guys can see. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, so now I'm on the 18-135, and as you can see, this is where we at. Yep, this is 18 right here, and as you can see, it kind of zoomed in on me. I was just shooting with this 10-18 right here, and when I was shooting with the 10-18, I was at about 12. Just to kind of give you guys that reference, but we're at 18 right now. And as you can see, the lens works totally fine. There's no issues there. You can't even see the scratches. You can't see anything. And that's what I'm saying. As long as I'm shooting like this, or, you know, I'm kind of like not facing the sun, I don't have like a huge sun glare on the lens, then those little scratches don't really matter, you know what I'm saying? Now, another thing I just want to throw out there too, man, I don't think that this lens is going to be great for, you know, doing anything handheld, like vlogging and stuff like that, like literally vlogging like this. This lens is not going to be good for that because, again, it's at 18, and it is pretty, it's a heavy lens, so I wouldn't recommend vlogging with this lens. If you want to vlog with your 90D, then just grab a 10-18, and you'll be good to go from there. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to know and show you guys that I do have the 18-135, which is what we're now shooting on. And I like the lens. I think it's a great lens. I think if you have a Canon 90D and you're looking at a lens that you want to that you can use basically for everything, it's a great walk around lens. When I say a great walk around lens, I'm talking walking through Florida. I had the Canon 90D with me with this 18-135, and it was great. You know, it is a little weighty, like it makes the setup a little bulky, but you know, it's a great walk around lens, man. You won't be disappointed with the quality. And I think that because it's an older lens, I think you can get it now for really cheap, man. So anyway, there you have it, guys, the 18-135. I just wanted to jump out here and just talk to you guys a little bit about it because I know I mentioned it in the camera bag video that I was going to talk to you guys a little bit about the 18-135 and show it to you guys, man. I think this is a great lens to get with your Canon 90D. If you're not going to get a different lens in place of this, if you buy the Canon 90D, I think that you should get the 18-135 with the Canon 90D because this is a great, just all around lens, from just, you know, walking around taking photos, taking quick videos, and just to put one lens on your camera and get every single thing done that you need to get done except for vlogging. I think it's a great all around lens for all of the above. Now you can vlog at 18, but it's gonna be really tight, so just stick with the 10-18. But anyway, hopefully this video has been helpful to you guys in some way, man. And if you found it helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your man Jay, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.